Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing video series videos I've been doing for a while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This is another one where it's also my lunch, so it's going to be eaten. Y'all don't have to worry about that. Unless it's really terrible. Hasn't happened often. I can only think of 2 times where it has, where I went over there and I reviewed something and then quite frankly just would not continue with it. One was this one energy drink that I really didn't like, and I actually poured out the rest in the review because it was just, I wasn't digging it at all. And the other one was the century eggs that I tried. Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck to do with those after they were done. But typically this stuff does get enjoyed and eaten. Anyway, folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to yammer on about for a bit. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, why I wear super cool shirts? I like to highlight super cool shirt. Super cool shirt I'm wearing today. Boom, it's my Mia X Alley shirt. I've worn this one plenty of times now. But if you haven't seen those other videos, Mia X Alley, the Mia part of that stands for Mia Asano. She is a violinist, also multi-instrumentalist, but mostly known for her violin. She plays an electric violin. Allie stands for Allie the Piper, another multi-instrumentalist, plus singer and all that good stuff, but mostly known for her bagpiping skills. 2 of them, they're both incredible musicians who gained a fair amount of notoriety online, especially, I mentioned this before, things like TikTok, YouTube, things where not only can they go over there and, share their music visually, or, in terms of, like, audibly, but in terms of visually, they can also go over there and really showcase, just how cool it is what they do. I'm a big fan of both of these 2. I got to see them perform on tour several months ago. At the time I'm doing this, they were fantastic. I got some shirts, I got some CDs, I also got some videos of their performance. They are on this channel as well, just in case you happen to be interested. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? It's my lunch. So, folks, we're doing something from Popeyes. It's in a black container thing, which is the first time I've ever seen this from Popeyes. Not saying it didn't exist before, but typically you just get the box. But specifically, folks, boom, it's these things. I gotta be careful because it's full of sauce. This is the Sweet Heat Wings from Popeyes. These were released, I think, maybe a couple months ago at the time I'm doing this. I just hadn't gotten around to them. Popeyes wasn't super on my radar for new stuff. And finally, literally just today, I was like, I'm kind of hungry. I haven't been to Popeyes in a while. Let's see what they got on their menu. Oh, they got these new things. So, let's go ahead, try them out. Let's get a thing. Try to get a nice little thumbnail for the thing. Ha 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 ha! Sure, that works. And let's go over there and try it out. It's got a lot of sauce, so. Ooh. I'm conflicted on these. Here's the thing. I mostly like them, but boy oh boy is that sauce a lot. I think you still get a nice crispy crunch. That's appreciated. So, I mean, it's somewhat reminiscent of their sweet heat sauce, which, for me, is personally my favorite sauce of theirs. Like, they could literally bottle that shit and I would buy it individually. It's delicious. It's kind of along those lines, if not basically just a variation of. It has what it says it is. It's got some heat, or it's got some sweetness, got some heat. The heat is nice though. It's not abrasive or like way too hot or anything. Just kind of warms your mouth a little bit. And with the sweetness, it has those contrasting flavors, and folks, we know that I like contrasting flavors. So I like the flavor profile that it's putting out. But it is kind of a lot. What I mean by that is it's very rich, and initially biting into it, it's like, ooh, this is tasty, I like this. But then it's still there. And it really permeates throughout the entire eating experience. I'd be interested to see. I'm wondering if the sweet part of it is just the sauce, and the heat part is just the chicken. Because they could just use spicy chicken with a sweet sauce. I'm going to try some of the sauce just by itself, what with the old finger and such. See if I get the same response. No. The sauce is both sweet and heat. And it is definitely very similar to the sweet heat sauce, for sure. But it's got, I think it has a little bit more, I guess, depth to it, which is both kind of good and kind of bad. It kind of does too much with it. You know, it is kind of nice, like you can taste more of like a peppery kind of flavor to it compared to the sweet heat. But because it has that extra depth, man, it's so much, you know? And I love bold flavors, you folks know that. But you can go too bold. Question is that what they did here? Sauce almost has like a fruitiness. Almost like kind of a cherry kind of taste to it. Yeah, no, I'm very mixed on this one. I think overall I like it, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like, I like the concept of it quite a bit, but boy oh boy, it's so much, you know? It's good, but, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with maybe and kinda. I really can't go over there and commit to this one. Because here's ultimately what I think I would do personally. I think instead of getting this, I would do what I normally do, which is go over there and get myself some chicken tenders and get myself some sweet heat sauce. Because then, not only am I like chicken wings just fine, but tenders are a little bit easier to just eat and go about your day with. But on top of that, I can control, how much sauce to chicken ratio I'm getting, whereas with this, it really is just kind of on there, and it's just, you kind of can't escape it. It sort of takes over the taste of the chicken and stuff. Even though it is tasty, it's a bit too much for me. Now that said, I did say that I would maybe get it again, and I would maybe get it again. It would be more as a curiosity kind of thing, though. Like, I could see myself getting it every so often. Just being like, I'll give it another shot. That kind of thing. Because I do like it. The overall of it, I think, is good. And I think that the idea is, well put together. Because, again, I love the sweet heat sauce. So having chicken based off that should be really good. But it's definitely not something I would get as a regular item. If I'm recommending it to people, I mean, it has to be based off of kind of my own interpretation of it, because it's good, but man, it's just so much, and like, I really do think that I think you would probably get a better overall experience that would be pretty similar just by getting some sweet heat sauce versus this, but I'm not going to say that they're one-to-one, so if the sweet heat sauce isn't doing quite enough for you, but maybe you like it, this could be that next step that you want. because it's a bolder overall flavor. For me, it's a little bit too much. Even though I like it, it's a bit much. But it is ultimately good. Just a bit much. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your folks. You can go over there. Have yourselves a truly sweet heat-tastic rest of your life. Because again, sweet heat is just fantastic. It's wonderful and it's amazing. And if this were an order of chicken tenders with some sweet heat sauce on the side, I would gleefully finish this as soon as I turn off the video. With this, it will be finished because it is tasty and I like it. But it is going to have to be one of those things where it's like, I'm going to have to pace this shit out. I'm glad I got a small order of this because, man, oh man, like, it's just so rich and it's so much. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not as possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. It can be downright fucking bullshit-tastic sometimes, folks. Just, life can be stressful and frustrating and just, bleh, just not good. But it's important when we run into those situations. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to try out some sweet and spicy wings, as I've done here today. And maybe you're going to come back in the comments and be like, Brandon, you're a crazy person. These are the best things ever. They're so fantastic. I think they should run for president. And I would bring up the point and be like, well, I mean, okay, it's fine that you like them. Good on you. But I don't know that they can reasonably run for president because, you know, they're a food and not a person, you know, and they don't have, like, thoughts or anything. I'm not sure how that whole thing would work. But then you remind me that, oh, wait, Brandon, we live with the American political system. Ergo, President hot and sweet and spicy fucking chicken wings in 2024, because let's be honest, neither side could do any better at this point. That's a weird point to get political, but I think I can get away from it because, let's be honest, pretty much all politics suck. It's just a thing. I don't understand why people get so obsessed about it. It's like, just cast your vote. Or don't. It doesn't, do your thing. Don't get all riled up about it, folks. I mean, sometimes you have to, I guess. But anyway, bye.